Greetings to all. Tell me, do you not love to go for long leisure vacations or weekend trips when routine life gets monotonous? During such a trip, have you got exasperated on discovering that you have forgotten to pack some essential items or you cannot find the things at the time you require them the most? Why do you think such blunders occur? It is because you did not plan or prepare before going for the holiday. Preparing for routine tasks, be it a mundane task like packing, which is the topic of this video, is very essential. All tasks, all routine tasks should neither be considered easy nor should they be taken lightly. Tasks require meticulous planning, foresight, concentration, and deftness. Otherwise, the results will be sloppy or disarrayed. Getting back to the topic, let's talk about the hilarious story Packing, a prescribed chapter in the book Beehive for Class 9 CBSE Board NCERT syllabus. This chapter, written by Jerome K. Jerome, is an excerpt taken from his main book, Three Men in a Boat. Now, before I proceed any further, let us get to know the author, Jerome K. Jerome. Jerome Clark Jerome, born on 2nd May 1859, was an English writer and humorist, best known for his humorous traveler, Three Men in a Boat, to say nothing of the dog, published in 1889. His other famous books, or you can say his novels, are his first successful humorous play, On the Stage and Off, published in 1885, his humorous collection of essays, Idle Thoughts of an Idle Fellow, published in 1886, Second Thoughts of an Idle Fellow, published in 1898, the sequel to Three Men in a Boat, that is, Three Men on a Bummel, published in 1898, Paul Kelver, which is basically an autobiographical novel and published in 1902, and several other novels. Now, as I have already mentioned, the excerpt Packing is taken from the book Three Men in a Boat. This book gives a humorous account of a boating trip by three men on the River Thames between Kingston, a town within Greater London, and Oxford, a city in central southern England. This book was initially written as to be a travel guide and would give account of the local sites along the route. But with this deceptively simple story has come to be hailed as a classic work of comedy. For these three men on a boating holiday, sailing and rowing upstream, seeing the sights along the route, camping in a boat, anything that can go wrong does. In the excerpt, the author Jerome gives a humorous account of the confusion and mess created by the three men who are friends and the dog who are inexperienced in the art of packing and have little knowledge about working in an organized manner. The excerpt starts with the narrator, based on the author himself, Jerome, referred to as J, volunteering to pack the clothing before the three friends set out on their planned sailing vacation because he believed that he was an exceptionally efficient packer. The two friends, George, based on the real life friend of the author George Wingrib, and Harris, another friend, Carl Henschkel, accept the narrator's offer and sit down to relax while the narrator sets out on the task of packing. However, the narrator is taken aback when his friends readily accept his decision to pack, and he gets irritated to see them leisurely wasting the time while he is working. The narrator had actually volunteered to pack with the intention that he would give guidance and supervise his two friends while they packed. However, his intentions backfired, and that's why he got irritated. In spite of his irritation, the narrator starts packing and takes a long time to pack, longer than he had expected, but he finishes. However, as soon as he finished, Harris, who had been sitting quietly all this while, points out that he has forgotten to pack the boots. How unforgetful. Anyway, he reluctantly opens the bag to put the boots inside. Barely has he put the boots inside when it suddenly dawns upon him that he cannot remember if he has packed his own toothbrush. Oh no. Now this is heights of forgetfulness. Anyway, to make sure, he empties the entire contents of the bag and frantically searches through them, even rummaging through the bag to find George's and Harris's toothbrush, except his own. Eventually, he finds it in one of the boots. He then repacks all the littered contents, and as soon as he finishes, George points it out, or rather he asks the narrator if the soap had been packed. This inquiry by George irks the already irritated narrator, and he simply refuses to reopen the bag. Despite it, he had to reopen. Why? Because he discovered that he had packed his tobacco pouch inside. There was utter confusion, heights of absent-mindedness. Eventually, after all this commotion, the packing that began in the evening gets done, but it's way late night. All this while, Harris and George, who had been watching to their great amusement the narrator display his expertise in packing, take up the responsibility of packing the food items and cooking utensils in 2 hampers, with the intention of showing the narrator the real art of packing. Do you think they were efficient? No, they were equally disorganized and messy. At the very outset, they break a cup. Then they put heavy things on top of things that can get squashed, like tomatoes and pies. And waste a lot of time cleaning up the resulting mess from the hamper. Then George trots on the butter and somehow he manages to scrape the butter from his slippers and put it on the chair. And on that very chair, Harris sits down and in the process gets butter stuck to his bottom. Then a real confusion ensues. Salt is strewn all over the floor. They keep stumbling upon things. And to make matters worse, their dog, Montmorency, who is purely a fictional character, not based on any real life pet of the narrator, lingers the process of packing by creating nuisance. He sits on things when they are required to be packed. He puts his leg into the jam, scatters the teaspoons, and crushes the lemons as if they were rats, and in the process almost gets banged on the head with a frying pan by Harris. At last, however, after all confusion and commotion, some blaming and bickering, the packing is completed. But it's way past midnight. Weary and tired, the three friends trudge upstairs to their bedroom and plonk off to sleep as they plan to get up early. Thus, from this we understand that to complete any task efficiently, one should organize and chalk out a plan. Otherwise, the process gets tedious and time consuming. This is the very message that the author, Jerome, has conveyed, albeit humorously, in the excerpt packing. On that note, I end my presentation. Hope to see you soon in times to come. Till then, happy learning. Keep smiling. Goodbye.